Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's you already know it's Simmer Down. You got Hudson, you got Randy. We're running the back for the handful of people that decided this was worth your while. We appreciate you. This will be much different than the last episode. We're gonna jump right into this thing. We got some biblical questions this time. As much as we like to have fun, we're actually gonna talk about worthwhile things for a lot of it. And
Hudson will.
Randy is gonna have hot takes, and I'm gonna try and keep him cool.
Yeah.
Randy he's doing his best. He's doing his best.
Explorist. I like to consider my. Oh no, what would it be?
What?
An explorist?
Explorist?
No,
Randy's
that can't be right.
Randy's open-minded.
Yeah.
With a little bit of common sense and poor judgment.
Ooh, poor judgment.
Poor judgment.
Okay.
Remember the way you talked when you showed up to the barn, bro?
Huh?
That's poor judgment.
Poor judgment. When I what?
Oh, it's good coffee. Remember the way that you talked when you showed up at the barn?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this man did not. He had a filter.
A filter?
I just don't know where it was.
Yeah. There's still no filter on me, so.
We cut it down. We got
There's like
the laundry list of words that he's not supposed to use has shortened. It's still there, but it's just not as big. But we're getting there. We're working on it. All right, we told him we were going to get into the good stuff. First question, and this comes from the Bible study that we were at the other day. And I think you wanted to talk about it. What is the difference between laziness and rest?
So, laziness.
Yeah.
I think you have to like define it down, both of them. Rest can mean very many things. Laziness as well. I would say the difference between laziness and rest would just be the attitude, right? So obviously, I mean, I'm sure you'll agree with this, and that is, it's good to have rest days and stuff like that, right? Where it becomes a problem is when those rest days turn into utter nothingness, right?
Yeah.
Therefore you
rest comes after work and laziness comes before. That's what I think it's a good way to think of it, because
one could argue also during.
You could argue during, but I like to have that idea in my head just for the purpose of understanding kind of why it fit. Oh, there's geese in the river. I think rest will come after work and laziness comes before, because laziness, I should back up one step even. The difference practically between rest and between laziness, it's a very fine line, in my opinion. You can do the same things, and one guy can be lazy, one guy can just be resting, you know?
Yeah.
If I work 6 days a week and I show up on Sunday and I'm not working and I'm just enjoying life, that's my rest day, right? If you are unemployed and you did nothing during the week and on Sunday you do the exact same thing, like, because it's a Sunday, you could make an argument that it's a Sabbath day, but you're still being lazy because you haven't actually done anything, you know? So laziness kind of comes in before the work, or in the place of the work. Rest comes after. In my mind, you kind of have to earn your rest.
Yeah. No, I would definitely agree with that.
All right, that was a lot faster than I thought. Let's jump into the next one here. This is where it's going to start getting fun.
Yeah.
So we already had most of this conversation, but let's talk about it again. Why don't we believe in Calvinism?
It's essentially just limiting what God can do, right? You are therefore saying that God doesn't have the. I wouldn't want to word it that way, but you're essentially saying that God doesn't have the ability to save everybody, which is just not true, right?
Before you go any further, remind the viewers, or Kevin Sanford over here, what do we mean when we talk about Calvinism?
Calvinism, it's essentially a belief that that you are chosen by God, right? Now, I would agree with that to a certain extent.
Well, you got to explain the full thing. So they would believe like kind of like elitism, where the elites are the ones that God has chosen, and those are the ones that are going to heaven.
Mhm.
Everybody else, and when you become an elite, it's because God has given you the thought that you need to rely on Him as your Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
And they would believe a lot of the same things that we would believe about having a relationship, but they would say that is
How
only
the relation comes.
how it comes into being only from God giving you the direct kind of info drop at once, and being that if God doesn't give you that, you don't have a chance of becoming a Christian. You're just screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, that's in my uh, in my
In your what?
in my thought, that is just completely wrong, right?
Mhm.
That the fact that you don't have the ability to choose, um, which is essentially what it's implying, is that you don't have that uh, what they would believe is people that don't believe in God. Well, they would just say, well, it never came to their mind anyways. God never put that thought there. Um, I think that is morally wrong. I think that if you want to take it that way, that God puts thoughts into people's minds that, hey, you should become a Christian, so on and so forth. I think that He should put it into everybody, not just specific people, right?
Would you say then that He doesn't do it at all, or that if he did, he should?
I think that he does it. I mean, there's many different ways on the way that he does it, but I think that he in some way, shape, or form, I think he does it to everybody, right?
Mhm.
It says you want to give me the reference where it says even the unbelievers can see that um, the stars in the heavens above um, exist, and they have to be formed somehow, right?
Mhm.
Um,
I don't know. There's a quote from Abraham Lincoln that said, "You he could understand how you could be an atheist looking down on Earth, but he doesn't understand looking up from Earth at all of creation how you couldn't believe in God,
mhm.
because nature by itself presents a very compelling argument that there is in fact a creator,
Yeah.
right?" So I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a little bit. Like, obviously, people. I'll back up. Like, not everyone believes, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, we see that in the world today.
Yep.
How can you prove that it's not a limited number of people?
Well, just the fact that you know, uh, there's missionaries and stuff that go all over the world. So,
Mhm.
well, that doesn't just happen um, by chance, in a sense. That God would tell us to go and out and minister to all these people, um, because everybody does have that thought, but they don't know where to go with it, in a sense,
Mhm.
right?
So here's my question to that, right? So how do you know then that the people that hear, the ones that do accept, I think you could make an argument that says the ones that do accept are the ones that are being called by God, and the ones that don't aren't.
Hmm.
You can still have missionaries within Calvinism.
Yeah.
So then how would you disprove Calvinism?
Well, it just goes back to the fact that um, you get chosen by God, and you essentially do not have a choice, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, you don't have a choice. You are either chosen by God, or you get sent straight to hell, which that is not who God is. He doesn't let people be born to go to hell. Like, that doesn't
Mhm.
exist in the realm of God, right?
Yeah.
He wants no one to go to hell. But in the fact that you say that only a certain amount of people are chosen, you are essentially saying that
Everyone else is
because
just automatically getting condemned without a chance.
yeah, exactly, right. Yes, there's an argument that we're born into sin, right? um but my thought on that would be, okay, what about babies, right? How do they get their salvation? um
Mhm. Let's talk about that actually. Let's dig it up a bit, right? So obviously, when we're born, because of the fall, we are born sicked, sinful, wicked people, right? By nature. How does that disprove that there's only a certain amount of people that God's picked?
As in what?
Like you would say that the not anti-Calvinist, but the non-Calvinist would say that we all need grace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would agree.
Yeah.
However, you could make the argument that says because we all need grace, all these we're doomed to hell anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
But only the elites are going to get picked.
Yeah.
How do you contrast that?
Well, you're essentially with that thought, with that view,
mm-hmm.
I feel like you're automatically saying that you're better than everybody else.
I'm saying that there's a lot of people that didn't get picked, and there's some people that did.
Mm-hmm.
How do you now explain and like prove? Because it's easy to say, well, obviously I don't believe that, and in all reality, I don't believe that. I'm not Calvinist.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you explain, other than just it's my belief that that's wrong?
Yeah.
That it's incorrect.
Well, that goes back to John 3:16, right? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Whoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life.
And I'm going to stop you right there.
Yep, and I know exactly what you're about to throw into there.
The question is, when it says all who believe,
mm-hmm.
how are you able to prove that that's not just a reference to the elect? And I'm going to jump in before we have any major miscommunication. Oh, there's the geese in the river again. To answer my question, the best way to say that is simply that if there are elites, that means that whatever that number is, I think there's a number in Revelation they might go off of, like 144,000 or something. I don't know the exact number. If you want to know, go read the book of Revelation and find it for yourself. Be a good Berean believer and make sure that what we're talking about here is actually biblical, because we rant a lot. We throw a lot of conjecture in here.
Mm.
If you're actually listening for this for like legit, like convincing things that you think are factual, please go and double check.
Do not listen to us. Just check it out for yourself.
Holla. You can listen to us. Just make sure that you
listen to Edson. Don't listen to me.
You can hear what we say, but take it with the entire salt shaker, not just a couple grains, and go back it up off the Bible.
Yeah.
With that being said, I think the easiest way to debunk what a Calvinist would push, or the questions that we've raised in the seat of the Calvinist, would be to say exactly what you said before, is that if you have a group of elites or elects or whatever you want to call them, then God has created a bunch of other people who he's already determined before their creation that he is sending them to hell.
Yeah.
That is against God's character. The hell was not created for humans. Hell was created as a place of torment for Satan and his fallen angels. So we were never designed to go to hell, right? Because we have free will, we are able to choose eternity apart from God. And if that's what we pick and we choose that to stay away from God, he will honor our choice and allow us to go there. But that isn't what his desire is. What about, that's a lot about Calvinism, right? Calvinism. I don't know if you caught the whole word. So we also talked about the Catholic Church and some of the differences that we have with them. This is not just meant to be a bashing party on people we don't believe in.
No.
These are just things that came up at work today that we're talking about.
I think that's part of the next question.
It is the next question. What do we? Why do we view differences with the Catholics? But there's a lot that we have to be a little bit mindful of, right? I forget, they might include a couple extra books in their Bible compared to ours.
Yeah, they do. That's 3 extra.
That's a red flag. There's a verse that says don't add on or take away. That's a paraphrase. I forget where it's found.
I think their argument to that would be it was part of the original Bible anyways. What would you say to that?
I would be very skeptical. I think the Bibles that we have nowadays that we can be they're incredibly accurate. And if you actually do research into like I forget the term that is used for it, but the methods that are used to verify ancient manuscript and text,
Mm-hmm.
they use them for everything. Like the studies of ancient astrologers and mathematicians,
Yeah.
they use all of these same methods to verify that text. So, like the Epic of Iliad, all of that stuff, they put everything through the same ringer, kind of.
Yeah.
Imagine that
Mm-hmm.
to figure out how accurate it is.
Yeah.
The text we have for the Bible went through all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we have now is mind-blowingly accurate
Yeah.
with the most original text. And I don't know, like just understanding that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bible that we have today is like more than just reliable. Like it's supernaturally reliable.
One could argue it's the most reliable book.
It is the most reliable book.
Right?
That's not an argument. That's just a fact. It is the most reliable book.
Well, some would argue, oh, okay, well, what about somebody who wrote a book about themselves, you know? So,
Bruh.
I'm just saying, somebody would argue that. I'm sure somebody would.
Somebody would. And
I'm sure somebody would.
No, bruh.
So
your autobiography is not God ordained, and if it is God ordained, it is not above the Bible. I'm sorry, but I'm really not.
Amen.
So I wanted to talk about Bible translation, but I think we already hit on that enough. We'll talk about that a little bit next. But the question of denomination, I think is the premise of that. I think is largely just different people interpreting what the Bible says different ways, right? And at some point, we will be wrong.
Yeah.
But we have to be careful on what things we're wrong about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of imagine it like this. If I take a grenade and I throw it, right?
Uh-huh.
The grenade blows up. When the grenade goes off, there is a ring around like 10 feet away from the grenade they call like the kill zone. If you are within 10 feet of a grenade when it goes off, that it might not be 10 feet. Don't quote these numbers. Go look it up. But
within 5 feet, I'm sure.
Within a very close range of this grenade is what they call the kill zone, where you have pretty much no chance of surviving the blast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they have the next kind of zone where you can survive, but it's not likely. Then they have the next zone where you probably will survive, but it's going to suck. And then the next one where it's going to hurt, but you're probably going to be fine. And then a zone further away where it's like, yeah, you know the grenade went off, but you're not really affected. And that is kind of the way that I view how wrong can you be. There are certain issues and differences from one denomination to another that land or that are in different places on this kind of explosion zone.
Mm-hmm. So are you imagining this as in you're throwing in different topics of
this is like
grenades, the grenades essentially being different topics?
No, that's not what it is at all. The analogy of the grenade is simply to show, like, the closer you are to the grenade, it is more of more of an alarming issue, right? A more of an alarming difference. So, or something that would really make me think whether or not this is big enough to question your salvation. And I'm not going to try and pretend that I know exactly where all of these are. Because I know I'm going to be wrong in some of this stuff just because I'm imperfect. And I didn't do a whole lot of prep ahead of time. I got here straight from work and then we just jumped into this. And part of it being I don't fully understand the severity of some issues, and I might overstate the severity of some. But there will be differences like cessationism, for example, or if you believe in the gifts but you just won't ever practice them because you've seen other people that have misused them and you just are not going to use them at all, but you acknowledge that they exist. And there will be various things like that. But where they all will land on this kind of chart, I don't know. So it's a little bit of an open-ended question for me, but at the end of the day, God does know. And he is the perfect judge, and he will judge each individual according to the truth. a lot of these we've actually been agreeing, and I'm hoping we can find one that we disagree and we can have constructive discussion.
Yep.
We have to find a topic we haven't already talked about. We've been talking for too long, which means it's time for the shower thoughts.
Before that,
dang it,
I gotta grab some water and take a piss.
Welcome back. Brief hiatus. It is time for our fun little
Brief
segment.
what?
Hiatus.
Was a hiatus.
Like a little break.
Bruh.
Temporarily break. We're going to enter into our fun part of the session. We might not always do this. We might do like 20 questions or something. Just a little extra fun thing.
20? Yikes.
No, it's a game. 20 questions if you
Oh, right. The
we
thing
did
that
that way back when. Yeah. All right. So these are the fun questions, right? Viewers, if you have a question you would like us to answer, you can send it at any time. It will likely be submitted here, or we might talk about it on the main portion if it's a serious question.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Kevin Minen. Let's get into it.
He did not mention anything about it.
No.
I just came up with it.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it at work.
No, shout out Kevin.
So.
He's probably going to be the one throwing the big questions we have to talk about.
Ooh, oh, yeah. Definitely. Yep, Kevin, throw in all your crazy Calvinist view questions that you have in the comments.
No.
Or you can tell me about it.
Yeah. It'll be good. Let's jump in, right?
Yeah.
So this is one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Why do all Marvel and DC characters have costumes, right?
You know, I honestly have no clue.
Here's the reason. I want to explain the thought behind it, right? Every time you think of any given superhero, right? Like Spider-Man, Captain America, the Hulk, they always have an associated costume with them.
Yep.
For a lot of them, it is warranted because they have an ability that not everyone has, that they have to have some kind of a suit for. So Spider-Man, for example, right? That was a funny noise.
What was that?
We're going to try it again. So Spider-Man, right? He's like whatever, flying through the air and swinging and everything. Depending on which one you look off, if you're thinking of he has like a web shooter, if it just comes out of his hand, then that's, I think, not really relevant. But the question is like, does he need to have the red and white and blue suit? I don't think that he would need to, right? If you had compression pants, a pair of shorts, and a compression shirt on, that would work just fine. But you could make the argument that he needs it, and if he likes a certain style of it, then that's fine. Iron Man needs the suit because without the suit, Iron Man's a bum. Yep. Captain America does not need that suit. Yep. Right? Well, he need, like, the shield is
argument.
Right?
Spider-Man doesn't need it. The first time he recognizes that he can actually shoot webs.
Yeah.
He
doesn't need a costume, right?
Yeah.
He could do it in pants and a t-shirt, right? Yeah.
But why? Like Are you asking why they?
I'm asking why. Like, why do we always imagine superheroes like that? Because they don't need them. Hulk, yeah, he needs like some sort of stretchy pants so that bro's not just showing it off every time he gets angry. You know? Yeah. Might not be a good thing. But even people like, maybe even like the little bit of the lesser known ones, or the people that have less crazy abilities, like Winter Soldier, for example, right? He has a classic costume that you think of when you think of the Winter Soldier. His ability is that he is a superhuman with a metal arm, right? You don't need
that guy.
You don't need any real costume for that. You just show up. Wolverine. We always imagine him in the white, the yellow kind of costume, right? With the mask and everything. Bro does not need a costume. And the movie Logan, to be fair, kind of debunks the idea of it. Because he just has him running around in the jacket and jeans. Yeah. But like Hawkeye, you don't need a costume. Yeah. Right? Black Widow, you don't need a costume. But why do they have costumes?
I think they're better associated that way,
but
right?
They serve no point.
They don't.
If you are trying to actually do a job by saving the world, if anything, you don't want to see the bad person you don't want to let them know that you're coming because there's the superhero. Let me pull my specially created gun just to defeat you. Bah!
Yeah,
you want to show up in sweats and a tee, and they're like, "Who the heck are you?" And then you mop the floor with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just a pet peeve.
Yep. No.
All right.
Seriously, I have a follow-up question to that actually.
Send it.
And that would be, who is your favorite superhero / who's your favorite Marvel or what's the other one?
DC. Either or.
Yep. I think I already know mine, but
Character? Oh, bugger.
there's only one right answer to this.
Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley. He's the inventor. Absolutely stud of a guy. All right, what's your answer?
Definitely Deadpool. 100%.
That is fair.
100%.
I do not condone, but I understand.
Deadpool the
All
goat.
right, we're going to skip that next question because it's a little less funny. All right, final question before we're done. Viewer submitted question. Shout out to Kevin Sanford. If I were to be locked in an octagon with a kangaroo in a hand-to-hand fight, right? 5 rounds, 3 minutes per.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us have weapons.
Yep.
Just bare knuckle fighting.
Bare knuckle.
What I want to know what you think. I'm going to tell you what I think, but I want to know what you think. Who is going to win? And how is it going to happen?
It is a second round knockout from Mr. Hudson Barkman himself.
Yeah. All right. Explain it.
So we actually watched a video on this because
you watched the video.
Mr. Kevin Sanford submitted this question at work.
Shout out, Kevin.
And so he asked, do you think you could beat a kangaroo in a fight? Yes, Hudson that. Hudson's like, oh yeah, definitely, right?
Too much backstory.
I think that Kevin Sanford didn't think that Hudson could beat him in a fight. We
dug into it.
Yeah, we dug into it.
We did the research.
And
we found out some interesting things about kangaroos.
Yeah,
you know
they essentially fight like a 10-year-old.
Kangaroos have been hyped up because the ones that are big, like there's one big one. I forget what his name is. It's like there's one jacked kangaroo. If you imagine like a jacked kangaroo, that is the only kangaroo.
Yeah.
For the sake of the fight, it is an average kangaroo, right? I'm not fighting the biggest kangaroo that ever lived. I'm fighting an average kangaroo because I'm a pretty average guy, right?
Yeah.
5'10".
Not steroided up, Mr.
5'10", about a buck 80.
Kong.
No, we're not fighting. I forget his name. Like it's a F or an R name. I forget what it is. Whatever his name is. There's one famous kangaroo. But we looked into the statistics or the numbers behind how kangaroos fight and how much power they actually have, and it is a lot lower than what you would expect. Their primary fighting method is actually just like swinging at each other with their hands.
Which they have claws.
They have claws, but the wingspan of an average kangaroo is far shorter than mine, which gives me a lot of confidence. There's also a lot of footage of kangaroos fighting like that, and it 100% looks like a handful of high school girls trying to claw each other's eyes out. Right? So now the obvious objection is going to be, yeah, well, what if they can land that little front kick? And they did the math on that front kick, and it is not actually as powerful as you would expect it to be. It is roughly the equivalent of a teenage male, which is a good kick, mind you, but not an overpowering kick. But I think the most compelling argument is that kangaroos are not endurance creatures, and humans are. So if I could survive the first round worth of claws and scratching and kicks from the kangaroo, I don't think that I have an issue winning, because the second round will be a lot more 50-50, and since after that round, it'll be a lot more my-sided. It'll be tilted towards me, because my endurance, albeit not great, but as humans, we are much more designed as endurance beings. Kangaroos, kangaroo is going to go for the knockout round 1.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I can probably trade blows trying to avoid that kick. If I can pin the thing and just start giving it haymakers when it's on the ground.
Pause. He is not actually fighting a kangaroo. This is not animal abuse.
Oh, if the kangaroo wants to score, if the kangaroo signed a waiver and we're in the octagon, they is catching hands, baby. A kangaroo stands no chance.
Okay.
Continue on. Murked. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So, what's your first move?
My first move is to pin.
To pin. So
you got to think about it, right? The kangaroo, his first move is not going to be to kick, and even if it is to kick, I can probably bait the kick and step out of the way.
Yeah.
The kick range of a kangaroo and kick speed, I think I can dodge, and if I can find a way to predict it, like it's got a base off of landing on its tail, right? It's
Mhm.
gonna lean back. It's like that one. What's his name? What's that movie with King Kong and the other guy?
Godzilla.
Yeah, Godzilla. If he's in that Godzilla meme where he's letting drags on his tail, that is kind of what the kangaroos do to brace themselves on their front kick. They fall back and then kick forward. If I can bait the front kick, I can it'll miss me,
Yeah.
and then it's just gonna go with the claws, right?
Yeah.
If I can pin the kangaroo in the ground on its side,
Uh-huh.
it cannot use its front kick. I can pin its arms, and I'm pummeling that thing.
Keep in mind, it's gonna try and bite you at this point, though.
Yeah, but I can put the old. Okay, guys, so we had a hard cut there. This has been the Simmer Down Podcast, second episode. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Hopefully, if we have another one.
Yeah.